Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. The football world is in absolute shock as rumors swirl that the Pittsburgh Steelers have reportedly landed not just one, but two superstar talents in a move that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. Sources close to the situation suggest that Terry McLaurin, one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers, and Myles Garrett, a defensive force unlike any other, have allegedly agreed to terms with Pittsburgh. If this turns out to be true, it would signal a level of ambition rarely seen in the Steelers' recent history, hinting at a front office willing to take massive risks to return the team to its former glory. Fans and analysts alike are scrambling to digest the implications, with debates raging about how these two players will fit into Pittsburgh's existing system. McLaurin's speed, route running, and ability to make defenders miss could instantly transform the offense, giving the Steelers a weapon they haven't had in years. Meanwhile, Garrett's presence on the defensive line could terrorize opposing quarterbacks week after week, potentially turning Pittsburgh into a defensive nightmare for anyone daring to step into Heinz Field. The mere possibility of this pairing has ignited social media, with fans posting everything from celebratory memes to detailed tactical breakdowns predicting how the Steelers might deploy their new stars. The timing of these alleged acquisitions has also raised eyebrows, suggesting that the Steelers' front office may have been quietly plotting a seismic shift in their roster strategy. While details remain murky, insiders hint that negotiations for McLaurin and Garrett involved complex discussions about salary cap implications, long-term contracts, and potential bonuses designed to incentivize peak performance. For McLaurin, a player who has consistently been one of the league's most productive receivers despite playing in less favorable offensive schemes, the move could represent a chance to finally shine on a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Garrett, on the other hand, has already established himself as a premier defensive talent, but the speculation about joining Pittsburgh introduces fascinating scenarios in which he could anchor a revitalized defensive front, potentially attracting other high-level free agents eager to play alongside him. The ripple effects of these moves, even as rumors, are enough to send analysts into a frenzy, debating whether Pittsburgh might have just positioned itself to be a serious contender in both the AFC and the wider league. Fans are clamoring for any hint of confirmation, and every report, no matter how small, is dissected and shared across forums, podcasts, and social media channels. Speculation also abounds regarding how the Steelers' coaching staff might adapt to accommodate these additions. Offensively, Terry McLaurin's skill set could allow for a much more vertical approach, with the potential for explosive plays stretching defenses and opening up opportunities for both the run game and other receivers. There's talk among pundits that Pittsburgh may adjust its play calling to maximize McLaurin's strengths, emphasizing his ability to create separation, track deep balls, and convert crucial third downs. Defensively, Myles Garrett could be positioned in a way that amplifies pressure on opposing quarterbacks, with creative blitz packages and stunts that exploit his unmatched combination of speed, strength, and agility. Some analysts are even speculating that Garrett's presence could allow other defenders to operate with more freedom, knowing that the linchpin on the edge can command double teams or collapse pockets on his own. These adjustments, if implemented correctly, might transform the Steelers into a team that is not only competitive but truly fearsome, capable of dominating in both phases of the game. The mere discussion of these possibilities has energized the fan base, sparking debates about scheme changes, potential draft strategies, and whether the Steelers are signaling the start of a new era in Pittsburgh football. Beyond the XS and OS, there's also a human element to consider. McLaurin, known for his work ethic and leadership, could instantly become a cornerstone of the locker room, setting the tone for younger players while establishing chemistry with the quarterback and offensive coordinator. Garrett, with his intensity and reputation for being a game-changer, could similarly inject a new level of competitiveness into the defensive unit, inspiring teammates to elevate their own play. Rumors suggest that the Steelers' management might have offered both players not just lucrative contracts, but also an opportunity to be central figures in the team's long-term vision, emphasizing influence beyond the field. If true, these negotiations might indicate that Pittsburgh is seeking to build a franchise culture that attracts elite talent and fosters sustained success rather than short-term gains. Analysts are already comparing this rumored pairing to some of the most impactful duos in recent NFL history, highlighting how a single offseason move could potentially rewrite expectations for both the team and the league. The excitement is palpable, with speculation driving countless what-if scenarios that capture the imagination of fans, insiders, and casual observers alike. The financial implications of these alleged signings are another layer of intrigue. Reports suggest that structuring contracts for two high-profile players simultaneously would require intricate planning, with attention paid to cap space management, performance incentives, and potential extensions. Some insiders speculate that the Steelers may have had to make difficult decisions regarding other roster spots or future acquisitions to accommodate these moves. The idea that the team is willing to make such a calculated gamble indicates a shift in strategy, moving from cautious incremental improvements to bold, transformative actions. Fans are eagerly debating whether this approach could pay off, weighing the risk of committing large portions of the salary cap against the potential reward of dramatically improving the team's competitiveness. There's also talk about how these acquisitions could influence future draft decisions, potentially freeing up flexibility in later rounds or impacting the team's long-term roster construction. Even as speculation, the notion that Pittsburgh is actively pursuing elite talent at this scale has generated a buzz that few other rumors in recent memory have managed to achieve. Finally, the cultural impact of these potential signings cannot be overstated. Pittsburgh has long been proud of its storied football history, and the idea of adding two marquee players in one offseason has fans envisioning a resurgence reminiscent of the team's glory years. Conversations about stadium atmosphere, merchandise sales, and local fan engagement are already heating up, with social media filled with creative expressions of support and anticipation. If McLaurin and Garrett do indeed arrive in Pittsburgh, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter for a franchise eager to reassert itself as a dominant force in the NFL. The combination of talent, leadership, and media attention generated by these rumored moves has created an almost cinematic narrative, with fans playing the role of eager spectators, analysts as commentators, and the Steelers as the central protagonist in what could be the most intriguing story of the offseason. While nothing is confirmed, the speculation alone has already changed the conversation around the team and set expectations for what could be an electrifying period in Pittsburgh football history. If these rumors prove accurate, the potential ripple effects across the league are massive. Other teams may be forced to reconsider their strategies, knowing that Pittsburgh could suddenly emerge as a powerhouse with elite talent on both sides of the ball. Terry McLaurin's ability to stretch defenses vertically could create mismatches that challenge even the most disciplined coordinators, while Myles Garrett's presence on the defensive line could disrupt the passing game for top-tier quarterbacks. Analysts are already engaging in hypothetical breakdowns, imagining how rival teams might scheme differently when facing the Steelers, including potential double-team strategies, adjusted coverages, and even personnel shifts. Some speculate that Pittsburgh's rivals may feel compelled to make bold moves of their own, either through trades, free agency, or strategic draft selections, in order to avoid being left behind in a rapidly evolving competitive landscape. The mere idea that two high-impact players could join the same roster simultaneously has the potential to trigger a domino effect across the league, reshaping perceptions of team strength, roster construction, and competitive balance. Social media chatter reflects this anticipation, with fans dissecting every nuance of the rumored acquisitions and debating how these players could affect everything from offensive efficiency to defensive dominance. Inside the organization, there is speculation about how the coaching staff might integrate McLaurin and Garrett into existing schemes. Offensive coordinators may need to rethink their approach, developing new concepts to leverage McLaurin's explosive speed and agility, while defensive coordinators could design packages that maximize Garrett's pass rushing ability. Rumors suggest that Pittsburgh's coaching staff is excited about the challenge, seeing it as an opportunity to innovate and adapt in a way that keeps opponents off balance. Analysts and fans alike are theorizing about potential play designs, motion usage, and defensive stunts that could fully capitalize on the unique skill sets of these stars. The complexity of integrating two elite players simultaneously cannot be understated, and speculation around these adjustments has sparked vibrant debate among insiders, bloggers, and fan communities. If executed effectively, these strategic changes could elevate Pittsburgh to a level of competitiveness few teams are capable of sustaining. The anticipation of such tactical evolution has already created a sense of momentum and excitement that rivals some of the most dramatic storylines in modern football history. Rumors also suggest that the Steelers could see a shift in team identity with the arrival of McLaurin and Garrett. Traditionally known for a hard-nosed, defense-first mentality, the addition of a dynamic offensive weapon like McLaurin could create a more balanced, multi-dimensional team capable of dictating the pace of games. Garrett's addition to the defense might further solidify Pittsburgh's reputation for toughness, but with a new layer of explosiveness that opponents struggle to anticipate. Fans are buzzing with speculation about how this transformation could affect locker room dynamics, leadership hierarchies, and team chemistry. Some believe that these moves, if true, might signal a new era of ambition, one in which the Steelers actively pursue elite talent to maintain sustained competitiveness rather than relying solely on tradition and incremental growth. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to some of the most successful teams in recent history, highlighting the potential for Pittsburgh to become a perennial contender if these rumored signings come to fruition. There is also considerable speculation about how the rumored additions might influence the Steelers' future roster decisions. The financial and strategic commitments required to sign both McLaurin and Garrett could impact draft strategies, free agency targets, and long-term planning. Some insiders suggest that Pittsburgh may need to make difficult choices, such as reallocating cap space or prioritizing key positions in the draft, to ensure that the team maintains flexibility while maximizing the impact of these star players. The ripple effects could extend for years, shaping the team's approach to roster construction, player development, and competitive strategy. Fans are eagerly debating these possibilities, theorizing about potential trades, draft selections, and the broader implications of acquiring two elite talents simultaneously. Even as speculation, the idea that Pittsburgh could be positioned to make bold, forward-thinking roster moves has sparked a frenzy of analysis, discussion, and excitement across football communities. The hypothetical consequences alone are enough to capture the imagination of fans and pundits alike. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Beyond football strategy and logistics, the human narrative is equally compelling. McLaurin's reputation for leadership and Garrett's intense drive suggest that both players could profoundly influence the culture of the team. Rumors indicate that the Steelers' management may have emphasized the opportunity for these stars to become central figures in the locker room, fostering a culture of excellence and accountability. Fans are speculating about how this dynamic might play out on and off the field, imagining scenarios in which these players mentor younger teammates, set standards for preparation, and inspire the roster to reach new heights. Analysts have noted that such a cultural shift could be just as significant as the on-field impact, potentially laying the groundwork for sustained success that extends well beyond a single season. The discussion of this potential cultural transformation has energized fan communities, fueling debates about team identity, leadership, and the intangible qualities that drive championship-caliber teams. Media coverage of these rumors has exploded, with analysts, commentators, and fans dissecting every reported detail. Every tweet, article, or insider hint is analyzed for hints of confirmation, sparking viral speculation and endless discussion. Some speculate that the Steelers' front office may even be strategically leaking information to gauge reactions, heighten anticipation, or negotiate behind the scenes. This media frenzy has created a heightened sense of drama, turning the potential acquisitions into a narrative that extends beyond the field and into popular culture. Fans are now not just imagining the on-field implications, but also the storylines, rivalries, and media spectacle that could emerge if McLaurin and Garrett officially join the Steelers. The buzz surrounding these rumors is so intense that it has generated comparisons to some of the most dramatic free agent stories in NFL history, emphasizing just how impactful these acquisitions could be. Finally, the speculation surrounding McLaurin and Garrett joining the Steelers has captured the imagination of football fans worldwide. Social media, podcasts, and fan forums are filled with endless theories, tactical breakdowns, and celebratory predictions, creating a narrative that is as compelling as it is uncertain. The excitement is not just about what these players could do individually, but how their combined presence might redefine the franchise, influence rival strategies, and transform Pittsburgh into a team that commands attention across the league. Even as a rumor, the notion of such a seismic shift has already changed the conversation around the Steelers, creating a sense of anticipation, intrigue, and possibility rarely seen in the sport. The football world is watching closely, eagerly awaiting confirmation, and imagining the explosive potential of a team suddenly transformed by the arrival of two of the NFL's most dynamic stars. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.